Brainrot 1. Again, I didn't catch the big one. Maybe they're no longer here, but I did discover that the 3 I caught could be more than capable of pulling a fisherman overboard if you're using the hazardous local methods.
Instead of just being abstract jottings in my notebook, I came to really understand how those accidents could have happened. You're in a narrow, wobbly canoe, maybe there's waves and wind complicating the situation, there's a fish on the end, it's pulling, and you just lose your concentration for a moment or happen to slip at the moment when the fish makes a lunge. You've got a loose hook, flies through the air very easily, it's in your hand, it's in your leg, you're over the side, and actually in that situation, even a fish this size, you're not going to have a chance against it. This is going to pull you under, you cannot pull against a fish even this size.
Lo spider Las vaquitas saturnitas Agarrini la palina
I think it's coming towards me.
Cacorita bicicletta Ring bus Cicleteira bicicleteira
Very strange.
Chilling
There are people who hook these fish and they're literally on for hours. It gets dark and they give up, cut the line.
Nuclearo
I've
dinossauro
come far too far to give up. So even though my muscles are aching, I carry on.
Ketupat
Very fast. So
Cocofanto elefante
Throb. This is a big fish.
Tanche le tanche
Bully.
1x1x1x1x1 Quesadillo vampiro
After a struggle of nearly half an hour,
Vulturina scheletone Guerriero digitale Lo spaghetti Dragon cannellone Nietetera bicicletera
This is the one I wanted. This is the Paraíba, the real monster of the Amazon.
Los cicleteras
Fish is growling at me.
Los 6-7
Big old mouth on there. Heavy
Carker
fish.
Sahur
Hardly hold this up. My arms are pretty short anyway. I can feel the fish
Carker Curcur Franteltero
And this is the one people say
Lo storico
it goes after people as well.
Mariachi
It
Corazon
looks a bit like a shark and it has a reputation to match. This is a big one, but they do go.
Headless horseman.
This one, I don't know, possibly about 80 pounds. I mean, this is a man-sized fish.
Extinct Traveler
Size big enough to swallow a man.
Oregini Boom
A streamline fish, smooth skin, no scales,
Dio
but it's a very streamlined catfish. Most catfish are pretty slow.
and Pumpkin
They move around on muddy bottoms, but this is a fish, fairly fast current, and I can just feel that muscle.
Graipus Medusa
Lovely result. And am I tired?
Los Carcheritos
What I've got to do though is remember the fish is as tired as I am.
Eviladon
Although I want to admire it over the water.
Dun
Get back and think of
Los
think of the
Mobiles
fish's recovery.
Los Spider
then
Los
something
Jobcitos
This seems to be getting a little bit more
Esoc Secola
which is not so much a sign of being
Los
crazy.
Buggies Esoc Secola
There's bubbles coming out.
Job Sahur Tralaledon
This is a sort of
Burguro and Fraiuro
predatory catfish.
Moni Paggi
This is the biggest one I've ever caught, so I wanted to
Bracola la la la.
close look at this 18-pound monster.
Botito Auratito
This streamlined predator massively outsizes the palameta. It's got hundreds of tiny teeth that function like gripper pads to seize and hold fast onto crayfish, but they're not going to do any serious damage
Bisonte
to
Giubbino
the flesh.
La vacca Saturno Saturnita
No way am I going to lose a finger.
Oregini Boom
No way is it going to take a lump of flesh.
Vulturino Scheletone Capitano Mobile
Down there.
Cicleteira bicicleteira Blassis
four light blades down the side of the spine.
Chacchè.
This is the answer. This is
Lo Stacoritas.
and these things will take armor coverage. Although occasionally
Lo Scheletone.
things line up badly.
Burrito bandito.
They actually get one of those spikes inside their throat and they might die.
Los Bros.
Generally they are
Los
perturbed.
Hotspocitos. 6-7.
This cloudy water makes the whole experience really
Extinct
creepy.
Matteo.
I keep expecting a monster.
Lo Spaghetti. Bicicleteira, bicicleteira.
And then one does.
Dragon
It's
Cannellone.
not alone.
Los Spaghettis. Los Buggies. Yes, 666. Lucky Block. Mariachi Corazon. Los Spidery. La Carker Car Combinación. Los Spooky Combinaciones. Los Jobcitas. Los Matteos. Nuclearo Dinossauro. Headless Horseman. Telemorte. L'Attacco Combinación.
This is the first time the Goonch catfish has ever been found in
6-7.
its natural habitat.
Chipso and
Bumped the
Queso.
camera a couple times underwater.
Tic Tac Sahur. Lucky Block.
The perpetrator
Now
is
you
somewhere
have
right beneath me,
No, my hotspot.
in the
Yes,
shadow of the
666.
dam.
La Carker Car Combinación.
I have to strike while the
No,
iron spot.
my hotspotsitos. No, my hotspot.
If it's half the beast I've heard it is, it's still going to be hungry.
Pirulitoita bicicletetta. Tic Tac Sahur. Tacorita bicicletta. Nuclearo Dinossauro. L'Attacco Combinazione. Sammini Spidery. Zombie Tralala. Carker Car Purpur. Job,
With every
job,
leap,
job,
its
Samu.
virtually impenetrable jaws
Extinct
threaten to throw
Tralala.
my hook.
Tang tang che le tang. La sì. Vulturino scheletone. Los Jobcitos. Ketchuruan Mustur. Zombie Tralala. Extinct
With a head
Matteo.
like a pit bull, this massive
Zombie
beast
tralala.
weighs in at more than 40 pounds.
This is it. This is
Tacorita bicicletta.
Just look at that head and look at the teeth. And
Chacchè.
the size of the jaw muscles that are going to be inside that gill flap
Dragon
there.
Cannellone.
A bit like bolt cutters, really, those jaws.
Rang Ringbus.
The angle. Tremendous power.
Tic Tac Sahur.
I've opened the jaws of much bigger
Job,
fish
job,
without a
job,
second
Samu.
thought, but there's no way I'm going to try and
secret
manipulate this
combinazione.
slippery monster's mouth.
Los Combinaciones.
It's actually making me think of a spring-loaded
Los
man trap.
Favoritas.
It's not so much the size or sharpness of the teeth,
Pumpkini Spiderini.
it's the sheer force that you've got operating.
Yes, 666.
And if you're in any doubt, you only have to
Carker
catch a
Car
large
Combinazione.
catfish sliced in half.
Ketchuruan Mustur. Perrito Burrito.
Get out.
La Cucaracha.
I've seen the bloody mess it's inflicted on
Chipso
people
and queso.
along the river. And now I have no doubt that the Dorado had the speed, strength, and hardware to slice through the glacier's mantle. The ferocious encounters I've uncovered teach a harsh lesson to people living along Argentina's river
No,
of
my
blood.
examen.
Down there, the deal is very simple.
Los
You either
Mateos.
eat or you get eaten. It's a bloody food
1x,
chain that
1x,
mostly
1x,
happens
1x,
out of
1.
our sight and beyond our
Garama
awareness.
and Maduro.
But get on the wrong end of that food chain and you'll be very aware of the bloody consequences. And for that reason,
We should all fervently hope and take care that we never find ourselves the wrong place.
Burrito bandito. Burrito bandito.
I'm told that the children disappeared from a place not far from the village, so that's where I'm starting my search for
Quesadilla
their killer.
crocodilo. Toto sahur.
What I'm looking for is said to be able to take out human beings, so I'm going to need pretty serious gear. This fits the bill, and this is basically a variation on what I've used to catch some of the biggest fish I've
Ring bus.
braided line with a breaking strain of 2 pounds, heavy duty swivel,
1x, 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 1.
thick wire hook on the end, so this is pretty serious gear.
The light is fading, but that could work in my favor. Many predators become more active under cover of darkness.
Los primos. Los jobcitos.
I don't have to wait long. Something big has taken my bait. And
La
it's not
grande
going to come in
combinazione.
without a fight.
Extinct Travelers. Treno Struzzo Turbo 4000. Extinct Travelers. Los Tralaleritos. Jaqueca.
I've been struggling with it for what seems like an age, but the fish shows little sign of tiring.
Burrito bandito.
Strong lunges.
Agarrini la palina.
But finally I managed to pull it out of the
Burrito
gloom
bandito.
and into sight.
Look at that!
Fragola la la la. Tacorita bicicletta.
This is what they call a banana catfish here.
Combinazione.
After the yellowish coloration on the belly. I know it more as Tirarara or a red-tailed catfish, and this is a pretty monstrous one.
La
They actually
Scuti
fear this fish in parts of Brazil. They say it hates young children. Maybe this is responsible.
La Carker Car combinazione.
This
Los Tortus. La vacca Saturno Saturno.
They don't have big biting teeth, but they do have pads to feel like coarse sandpaper.
A fish like this could certainly drag a child to its death.
Zombie tralala.
But that's where any similarities with the water mama end.
1x, 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 1.
Redtails are bottom-dwelling fish that stay hidden beneath the
Buron
surface.
fraiuro.
So I'm not sure how they could have inspired the legend of a creature that's normally spotted coming up
Los Browns.
out of the water. But I decide to stick with my new tactic of fishing from land.
Los Spaghetti.
Neville takes me to a sandbar that he suspects has some deep water alongside.
Capitano Moby.
I just really like this spot here. It's perfect.
Job,
Predator ambush territory. This has to give us a better chance than
My hot spot.
everywhere else. I'm going to camp on a sandbar here and actually keep a couple of baits there overnight.
Carker Saturno.
Next to the rods.
Every day I've been up at dawn and fishing after dusk. Now, to maximise my chances, I'm going to keep a line in the water through the night. If I fall asleep, I might miss a take, so I'll need some high-tech gear to keep me on guard.
I'm pretty well attuned to these
La
things.
Saur
Basically what happens, the line is passing over a roller.
Yes, my examen.
And if the line moves at all,
Job, Sahur.
it
Braga
actually sends to this receiver
Treno
here. This
Struzzo
buzzes.
Turbo 4000.
It also vibrates.
Dragon Cannellone.
Vibrates on. Anything goes.
No, my
Which is
examen.
quite interesting. So it's not just a waiting game, it's time.
Los Tralaleritos. Los primos. Lucky Block. La Fit. Mietetera, bicicletera. Bicicleterina. Burrito
Not really
bandito.
quite sure what time of the morning it is now, but it's been very, very quiet tonight.
Botito
Nothing really
auratito.
doing. But until this, they call it a
No, my
blinker
exam.
locally.
pretty as this fish is, I'm not something that could actually swallow this thing.
Mariachi corazón.
Even swallow a person. I'm up to this more predatory and more monstrous than this one.
Los spooky combinaciones. Las tralaleritas. Los patis. Los móviles.
To outrun the huge reach of thousands of fishing boats, I'm heading upstream and back in time to the mouth of a little-known tributary called the Padauiri, which snakes its way north towards Venezuela. These waters flow down past Óbidos, but at this extreme distance, they're rarely fished. For me, this will be completely uncharted territory. I'm staking everything on the chance that out here I'll find the heavyweight catfish I'm after, and that I'll be able to prove it fits the profile of the super assassin that wiped out so many passengers so quickly on just one night.
Los móviles.
Within minutes, something's after my base.
Yes, my examen.
These bites feel unusually aggressive.
These piranhas have the feel of quite big piranhas. A couple of times they've taken out a couple of foot of line.
I could move on, but my instinct tells me I should get a closer look at one of these bait thieves.
Agarrini la palina. Chipso al queso. Spooky and pumpkin. La fish.
The strike feels like a piranha, 10 times the size of the ones I've caught downstream.
Mariachi corazón. Graipus medusa.
Nice, that's what's been eating my bait. It's really big.
Los tralaleritos.
It's the size of that head.
Perrito burrito.
Those jaws.
Capitano Mo.
Piranha this size could do some serious damage.
Fragrama
Dwarfs the red bellies I caught before.
La supreme combinación.
So could a swarm of these beasts be to blame?
Quesadilla crocodila.
Luckily, they're not normally found in the concentration that you find the small red-bellied piranhas. And the other thing is, actually, these are very rare in the main rivers, so I'm pretty certain that it wasn't involved
Headless horseman.
in the events of Brainrot.
Los tralaleritos.
17
Zombie tralala.
huge girl.
And at more than 6.5 pounds, this is the largest piranha
Yacorilla.
ever caught.
Eviladon. Los patis.
My finger in the way there, I'll be minus finger.
Taxapur. Los combinados.
Piranhas this size are at the smaller end of the food chain here. I'm seriously wondering what's at the other end of it. I'll have to keep fishing to find out what tipped the balance of survival against the passengers of the Sobral
Zombie
Santos.
tralala.
For days I followed the relentless coils of this serpentine river
La grande
northwards
combinación.
toward the remote border with Venezuela.
Los combinaciones. Extinct tralalero. Quesadilla crocodila. Quesadilla crocodila. La grande combinazione. Los news, my hotspots. Los
I might see the fish in a second.
Finally, a flash of fin at the surface shows I'm dead on target.
Los spider rings. Agarrini la palina.
This is the piranha.
More commonly known as the Amazon red-tailed catfish.
Los news,
Its
my
Guarani
hotspots.
name comes from the word for fish, here, and the word for parrot, arara, because the fish's fins look like the plumage of the scarlet macaw.
Cellularcini
Grunt,
vissuti.
but also they make this squeaking noise.
Treno struzzo
It's a piece
turbo
of bone
4000.
clicking against another piece of bone.
Chipso al queso.
I can only imagine that that is actually for
Tortellini
communication with the
dragon
water.
fruttino.
Normally these
things living pretty low vis conditions, hence the feelers.
Chipso anch'esso.
This gives them another channel of communication to operate.
Los primos.
Next to its colour, the red tail's most striking feature is its enormous head, around a third
La
of
vacca
its
Saturno
total body
Saturno.
length.
Wide mouth, very capacious mouth cavity, lots of little teeth that form these
Yes,
sandpapery pads. So one here,
Guerriero
the
digitale.
middle, very good for gripping.
Lo spaghetti.
You can see my fingers sort of
Tortellini Dragon. Los Jobcitos.
But I still have too many unanswered questions
La grande
to condemn the red
combinazione.
tail just yet. If these predators were involved, exactly what role did they play?
Quesadilla crocodilo. Los
I know they
primos.
can grow to a size where they could easily engulf
Los
half
no,
human
my
weight,
hotspots.
and I felt more than enough power to pull someone under.
La Carker Car combinazione.
But what is it about the way they operate that could both account for the carnage and so many people wiped out so quickly, so near the shore? I'm itching to get a line in the water, so I head off with a fisherman named Neville to find some bait.
Tang che le tang.
He leads me through the forest to a particular tree.
Los mobilis. Cicleteirina, bicicleteirina.
The musical company cook tea. We make a lot of food.
Los buggies.
We make cook with porridge. Make it start porridge with banjo. The fruit is very delicious for us. And actually we use the seed.
Capitano Mo.
There's the seed. We use the
Nuclearo
seed
dinosauro.
for catching a bit. We cut it and then you find a worm inside. The insect. Just lay inside and then come up a worm.
So that comes from an egg, they put
Yes,
inside.
the inside and then
Dragon cannellone.
then they spend about that till you put
Cellularcini
5 months
viciosi.
before they place it.
Los 6-7.
So it's feeding on.
They're feeding on the nuts all the time, feeding on the
Trino
nuts.
scheletone.
So do you want to
Treno struzzo turbo 4000. L'attacco combinazione.
Guys, I was trying to bite
Zombie
me.
tralala.
It's really sharp because they actually cut through.
1x, 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 1x1.
I can imagine it's been a really good bait actually because a grub like this, it's just a sack of
Yes, my examen.
amino acids and goodness.
La Carker Car combinazione. Garama and Maduna. Sammini Spiderino.
One thing this really underlines the importance of local knowledge, how to actually get started. If I was going to work this out for myself, I'd just be wasting time.
It's perfect bait to entice smaller fish.
And the fish are coming already. That is quite incredible. You could see the fat forming a sort of slick on the surface, and these fish just came from nowhere.
Tacorita
First time. Yes, 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 yes. Look at that. We're on the way. This is moving up the food chain. So from palm grub to miniature fish,
La vacca Saturno
slightly bigger fish,
Guerriero digitale.
predator.
Yes, my
Just a
examen.
hook, a little bit of wire, just to protect against piranha, bit of weight, and a line. And I whirl that around my head, lob it
Chipso
out.
al queso.
That's the one.
Sammini Spiderino.
You're feeling with your fingers on the line, which is what I like to do with the rod actually. You get a lot of information if there is anything moving down there.
L'attacco combinazione. Dragon
Now,
cannellone.
it's a waiting game.
Chilling chili. La casa boom.
There's something,
No, my Henry.
Fish.
Something bigger than I bargained for has taken my bait.
Trino scheletone. No, my Henry.
Are you going to get it in the mouth?
Giacorilla.
Lovely. That is just a beautiful, beautiful fish. And more to the point, it's very encouraging. Incredible to think that a couple of hours ago, a palm nut on the floor in the
Garama
forest
and Maduna.
has turned into this.
Known locally as a basher, it has a huge mouth for its
Zombie tralala.
size, but they don't reach anywhere near the size
Cellularcini
of a
viciosi.
manzo.
I don't want to speak too soon, but if things keep on this trajectory, then maybe I will get that monster like I came before.
Dul dul dul.
The next step is to locate the fish.
Tralaledon.
The thing about big fish
Los
is
spaghettis.
They get big by minimizing their
Sammini
energy
Spiderino.
output, and where you've got a dip,
fish can lie there out of the current without expending any energy.
6, 7.
Also, any food that comes down is going to tumble into that space.
Graipus
Like the
medis.
conveyor belt bringing food to them.
Quesadilla
A
crocodile.
very good rule of many fishing: think like a fish. Where would you be if you were a fish?
But Lau Lau are known to migrate with the annual floods. With this
Black hole
unexpected
goat.
high water, are they still here?
Bicicleteirina, bicicleteirina.
33 foot up here. Keep coming.
I use a sonar device to help me decipher the structure of the riverbed and locate deep pools in which to place my
Guerrero
bait.
digitale. Perrito burrito. Quesadilla crocodile. Hot pump. 1x, 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 1. Los carteritos. No! My hotspot.
Despite my early pessimism,
Kept.
there seems to be some interest in my bait.
Chili chili.
Something on the bait.
Extinct Matteo.
I gently tighten the line to see
Nuclear
what I can feel.
Something going on.
Fragama and chop.
I'm going to wind down and hit this.
Yes, 666. Chili chili. Los tacoritas. Bigote tropical.
Good to see a fish.
Fragola la la la.
Local name of this fish apparently Dawalo. I've seen them before. It's a catfish. You can't see any tentacles on it, but they are sort of recessed above the
Guerrero
jaw
digitale.
and they poke out just a little way.
Black hole goat.
Okay, it's not what I'm after. The Lalo is probably
Chicleteira,
inhale this
bicicleteira.
in one mouthful.
No,
easily.
my candy. Mietetera, bicicleteira. Headless horseman.
Caimans have tried to steal my catches at night before, but that was in shallow margins.
No! My Sammy spider. Euro and Fraiuro. 6, 7.
I'll use a fish to set a trap. I want to hook a fish and let it create a commotion on the surface of deep water to see if it triggers an attack by any caiman out there. It's a risky operation in a small boat, in deep water, in the dark, but it's my only option to find out if caimans should be on my suspect list.
Spooky and power.
Taking line.
But the fish I've hooked to bait a caiman is a lot more powerful than I expected.
Yes, my examen. Burrito bandito. Los Mateos. Oregini Boo. La Casa Boo.
This is a Paraiba.
Pumpkin
small one.
Spiderini.
It's strange to talk of a fish as small when it puts
my
up
heart's
under the boat like that, but these
La
grow
Saur Combinación.
much bigger than this.
Los Combinados.
Pounds and up.
It's good to see my first large predator in these waters, but I need something smaller and much more manageable for my caiman test.
But interesting to see it.
Los Topos.
Could Piraiba be contenders for the attacks on the passengers? I know some have the potential to swallow a man whole,
Pirulitoita
but
bicicleta.
these giants are at the top of the food pyramid and just aren't very numerous.
Telemorfo.
At this stage, I don't think they could account for the scale of the carnage.
Mariachi Corazon.
I find a good spot to
Los
tackle up.
Hotspocitos.
Small fish will be darting into the open water from the safety of the reeds,
La Secret
tempting
Combinación.
meal for a hungry predator.
Chicleteirina bicicleteirina. Los spaghetti. Tortughini dragon fruttini. Tortughini dragon fruttini. 1x, 1x, 1x,
Judging by
1x, 1.
the amount of time it took for
No,
the
my
leg at
candy.
the bottom, I'm guessing I'll be about 15 foot, something like that.
Lassie.
Not very far off the weeds here, so quite a respectable
Los
depth.
spider rings.
If you're quick on,
Las vaquitas
on the line as
saturninas.
well, so if he does pluck.
Hechuro and musturo.
Then,
La
in the
Sig.
very place where somebody went missing,
Pumpkini spiderini.
Something strikes my bait.
Pumpkin Spiderini. Lucky Block. Turino Scheletone. Lo Spaghetti.
I'll get it in the boat.
666. La Supreme Combinazione. Spaghetti Toaletti.
This is a stingray.
Mariachi
This
Corazon.
is a species of stingray I've never
La
seen
Secret
before.
Combinazione.
It's a good 2 foot across and weighs
Sammy
around 20 pounds.
Extinct
Freshwater
Flower.
rays are dangerous thanks to the weaponry they carry.
Ciacchetti. Lo
A
Storto.
venomous spike on the tail.
Black Hole
Normally,
Goat.
they will stab your foot if you tread on them.
Sfaquita
That in
Saturnita.
itself isn't potentially fatal, but worst case scenario is that gets infected, it gets gangrene, and you
Los
can
primos.
die a very slow, painful, lingering death.
Secret
Alternatively,
Combinazione.
if an artery is punctured,
Mietetera. Bicicletera.
bleed to death.
La Saur Combinazione.
Though potentially lethal,
No My Examen.
stingrays are off my suspect list.
Dragon
They're simply not
Cannellone.
capable of producing extensive
Lo
bruising.
Lo 6-7.
Stingrays don't cause people to
Nuclearo
disappear.
Dinosauro.
It's true that in one case I investigated, a young bride was harpooned in the ankle by a stingray, which then dragged her to her death.
Toto Sahur.
But her body was eventually found.
Los Trallaleritos. Oregini Boom.
I want to release it, but these things have to be handled with care.
Evi la Donna. No My Examen. Bisonte Jupiter. No My Candy.
Go over the side.
La Trallaleritas.
First.
Guerrero Digitale. Dragon Cannellone.
I must keep my eyes on the prize. A man-sized Laula.
La Carger Car Combinazione.
After resting up into late afternoon, I head back to the rock where I lost the fish just a few days ago.
Job
The
Sahur.
water has definitely dropped.
Quesadilla Crocodila. Los Primos. Los Tacoritas. Dragon Cannellone. Los Tacoritas. Parker
There's something.
Ciacchetti. Los Chicleteros.
Deceptive amount of line out here. That's a good sign. First cast.
Los 6-7.
Fish has woken up. Right, there's the leader in sight. That's Rental Catfish.
Los 6-7.
Well, I'm hoping that's not just a one-off. That's almost like the switch has been thrown. Incredible to get the take on the first cast.
Chicletera, bicicletera. Mietetera, bicicletera. Los Chicleteras.
It's just blowing air out the gills. And that clicking noise is
Quesadilla Crocodila.
it's the pectoral fin. It's a small red-tailed catfish, but it's activity. There's finally some activity here.
Quesadillo Vampiro. Las Vaquitas
Very
Saturnita.
fish.
Botito
quite outside.
Los Jobcitos.
Within minutes,
Burrito Bandito.
there's activity.
Job,
Right,
Sahur.
there was a tug,
Ketupan,
and that's now missing its tail. That was a piranha, it's taken that off.
6-7.
Piranhas are an all too familiar problem when fishing the Amazon. But I have a solution.
Tacorita Bicicleta.
I switch to a tough plastic lure. Hopefully, I'll have more luck with this.
Chilling Chili. Headless Horseman. Hot Spot.
Almost immediately, my change in tactics is rewarded.
Las Vaquitas Saturnitas. Los
Very
Jobcitos.
aggressive,
Agarrini La Palina.
taking this very noisy, large lure on the
Los
surface.
Combinaciones.
It's a perfect
No My
opportunity
Examen.
for an experiment.
Los Spaghettis.
just going to see if we can demonstrate how sharp those teeth are.
This is 300-pound breaking strain Kevlar, the same material used to make bulletproof vests.
Let's get some in here.
Graipus medusi.
Hey, that's impressive.
Its teeth slice effortlessly through the Kevlar. But what about woven steel?
Job.
It's a sobering reminder of the flesh-slicing potential of these prolific predators. On those rare occasions when piranhas do attack, it's death by 1,000 cuts. Walter described his teacher's wounds in quite some detail, and there was no mention of bite marks, blood, or injury dealt by human hand.
Extinct la grande.
This is just flesh and bone.
Lo
It
spooky
just goes to show what
combinaciones.
an arms race it is under the water here.
Yes, 666.
Still without a solid lead, I do what I know best, and get out onto the water, which has now receded from around the houses. What monsters could be hiding here?
Mietetera,
Things are
bicicletera.
strangely quiet in this oppressive heat. All I'm managing to attract are butterflies, lured in by the salt in my sweat.
Cellularcini viciosi.
Plenty of activity above the water at the moment. Just the same is true underneath the water.
Los new, my hotspotsitos. Tortellini dragon.
Could whatever's on my line shed light on the stories I've been hearing?
What was I saying?
Los buggies.
That's quite surprising.
Tacorita bicicleta.
What's that?
Rang ring bus. Chaqueta.
Sort of thing.
Los
I'm actually
brown.
holding it quite firmly because
La
this
vacca
fin
giacco
here
literino.
has a very, very sharp spine.
Giacorilla.
It's actually got backward facing
Los
barbs coming down as well, so if it wriggles and sticks
Los
like you, it's
chicleteros.
actually pretty painful.
Los
Which
67.
I know all too well. The spines are coated in
Yes,
sticky mucus,
Chicleteira bicicleteira.
causes
Sammy
severe
spiderino.
pain.
This is a fish that can stab and draw blood, but no way.
Pirulitoita bicicleteira. Los combinados.
It's a good sign though. Something's starting to move.
Los combinados. Esoc seco.
Hunters rise early and, focused on their task, leave me struggling to keep up.
Chili.
Overnight rain has turned dust into mud, and I worry whether the water has risen, making it impossible to find an eel, let alone catch one.
Los buggies.
Going to the other side of the river.
La carker car
Not
combinación.
straight across, apparently we're going a little way upstream.
Chaqueta.
What a little way is, I don't know exactly. I suspect a little way could even be an hour. Such concepts start to lose
Yes, my
meaning.
examen.
We make our way a little upriver.
Chicleteirina bicicleteirina. Giacorilla.
Before starting our trek into the jungle.
Tanta anche le tante. La strada lerica.
I'm no stranger to dense tropical forest, but Ivan seems to slip through the undergrowth without effort.
Heading off the path now.
Graipus medusi.
We reach a pool where the hunters employ their first eel catching technique.
Spooky and
I
pump.
think that it's a wounded animal or something. Apparently, this fleshy sound is something that just gets their curiosity
Fragola la la la.
They begin to take up their
Los
positions.
topos.
when the water is just confined to small puddles.
La
That's when they
supreme
change their
combinación.
just grab one with their hands.
The hunt moves into its next phase.
Turbo 4000.
Pregnant woman doing the splashing in the water
Los carqueritos.
is more reliable in terms of calling the electric eels.
It seems improbable, but suddenly all hell breaks loose. It's chaos as the hunters try to bring the fish
Yes, my
into
example.
shallow water.
I'm now in the water.
I struggle to get close. The eel writhes to get free. Finally, Bushy, the man who brought me here,
L'assist.
I can see it. You can see it trembling. You can see it trembling.
Holds a live electric eel
Job,
in his
job,
bare
Sahur.
hands.
He's just holding that. He's holding it.
I've seen what these fish are capable of.
I'm not too comfortable being this close. He says it is shocking. This is the fish that is responsible for killing people.
Los Mateos.
And according to others, actually burning his skin. Looking at Bushy now, no sign of any burns. He's been
Niedetera, bicicletera.
I'm left with two possible conclusions.
No,
Either the
my heart
Matisse have
stopped.
special powers,
La Carker Card combinazione.
have this understanding that I don't completely follow, scientists don't completely follow.
or something else is responsible for the bizarre deaths. But this time, the Amazon isn't prepared to give up all her secrets just yet. And as long as there's mystery out here, I'll keep coming back.
Guerriero digitale. Botito auratito. Tortughini dragon frutino. Tacorita bicicletta. Extinct la grande. No, my examen. Yes, 666. Box pump. Quesadilla crocodile. Los 67. Los Jobcitos.
That's
Chaquet.
right in the end of the tail. Aguento unos.
Los Jobcitos.
This is the first fish I've found in these waters
La
that isn't
Saur
ever marked.
combinazione. Los no,
Instead,
my
it
heart
has serious protection.
No, my examen.
I'm being a little bit careful where I hold this.
Agarrini la
Looking by
padina.
the mouth because that's one of the few safe places to hold this fish. It's got sharp
Las
spines.
vaquillas saturnitas. Los primos.
These spines obviously for defense. It's just to stop
Botito
larger
auratito.
from making a meal of them, to
Lucky
deter
dog.
larger fish. It's almost like a saw blade down the side.
Extinct tralaman.
Inside the mouth is completely
Las
soft. I
pupigrana.
can't feel any teeth. I can't feel any
La cis.
pads. This is not depressed.
La casa bu.
I imagine it usually feeds on whatever it can suck up off
Job,
the
job,
riverbed.
job, Sahur.
But it seems the murky depths
Guerriero
must be a
digitale.
pretty hostile environment.
Yes, 666.
Catch a fish this size needs to
Bucchini spiderini.
what else could be down there? Possibly
La
feet on.
cucaracha. Bisonte Jupiter. Los Jobcitos. Sammy spiderini. Quesadilla crocodile. Toto Sahur.
I'm bringing about
Toto
50
Sahur.
yards away.
It's a truly bizarre-looking fish known as a diwala.
Cellular
It's so quiet at the moment. I'd actually rather not be catching, to be honest. I want to wait until a Rowlow comes along. What it does mean though is I've got to get the bait back out and get the boat out.
Los spiderini. Chaquet. La grande combinazione. Tortughini dragon frutino.
Put that down until something decisive happens.
Headless horseman. La vacca Saturno Saturnita. Spaghetti toaletti.
More serious.
Lucky block. Money Paggi.
This time, I have no doubt about what's on my line.
Extinct la grande.
That's gone solid.
Tacorita bicicletta. Ketchup.
That light on my face is a pain in the arse. I'm sorry.
Tacorita bicicletta. Los 67. Extinct Extinct Matteo. Bucchini spiderini. Burrito bandito.
This gear is designed for the heaviest
Dreyfus
ocean
Medusa.
giants. But is it
Extinct
strong enough?
Spooky and Pump. Garama and Medusa.
I'm using thick monofilament line for just this reason. But it's being tested to its limit.
La vacca giacco interino.
I can't let that line break.
Dreyfus Medusa.
Can you get that away, please?
Dragola la la la.
We need to be careful with this. That's good, it's out of the rock, whatever it was.
La vacca giaco Luterino.
But this fight is not over
Nuclearo
yet.
dinosauro.
The fish is nowhere near tied yet.
La vacca Saturno Saturnita. 1x, 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 1. Capitano Mariachi Corazon.
Just be very careful now. Fish could kick off. Even though it's like this.
Graipus medusa.
Because we're coming around the waist.
La casa bu.
It's an unbelievably muscular animal, built for speed and power.
What I'm trying to do is get that
Los
knock out.
Joncitos.
And there's its signature weapon, that enormous mouth.
Yes, 666. Extinct Traveler. La cucaracha.
It's got a bit of a bite. I want to bring it somewhere with it. It can't if it kicks, it's not sloping down.
I have to work quickly to
My
remove
heart
the
spot.
hook and measure this enormous beast.
Tralalledon.
I don't want it to be out of the water any longer than absolutely necessary.
7. Portuguini Dragon.
Girth in front of the dorsal fin is 50.
Cizzo
I'm
Anchetta.
having to use scales designed for lifting concrete blocks.
La vacca giaco
258,
Luterino.
256, 257,
Lo
254,
spaghetto.
16. I think guys, you can put it down. So it's
La
strong
vacca
as it can
Saturno
be.
Saturnita. Capitano Mo.
My whole life, I've longed for
Mariachi
this
Corazon.
moment.
La Secret Combinazione.
Only just starting to be able to
Ian Pumpkin.
think straight. This is wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. This I'm going to remember.
La Casa Bu.
The size of this fish and just the drama of getting it in. What a beast this is.
Fragrama and chocolate.
Well,
Yes,
I came here
666.
with a very simple question I wanted to answer. Can these
Last
fish
Peter
grow
Saturn.
big enough to be potentially dangerous to humans? Can they engulf a small human? And I've heard stories. President Roosevelt's account inspired me to look for one. He never actually saw one. But here it is.
La
This moment
Carga
is actually
Combinazione.
very short for us. I think it's going to go back in.
Un turino scheletone.
Background.
Un turino scheletone. La
I really actually wanted
cucaracha.
to sit and just look at it and look at it. But I think as every shark's that fish will never be seen by anybody again. There's big ones down there, believe it or not, there are bigger ones down there.
Tanta anche le
For
tante.
me for now.
If ever something was worth waiting for,
La
it's
Supreme
this.
Combinazione.
The river monster of a lifetime.
Tanta anche le tante.
Bushi introduces me to Ivan, who agrees to take me upriver
Yes,
with
my
a family
example.
travelling to another village.
Tanta anche le tante.
All thoughts of the electric eel slip to the back of my mind as I prepare my gear.
Dragon cannellone. Cizzo anch'esso.
Ivan has agreed to fish with me,
La Supreme
and I
Combinazione.
know this is some kind of test.
Los Matteos.
Not a simple stick for a rod, an old piece of line and a small hook he casts out,
La cucaracha.
and immediately has a fish on the end.
Lo spaghetti. Giacorilla. Pirulitoita bicicleteina. Cicleteirina bicicleteirina. Treno struzzo turbo
Could I
4000.
too have something on my first
La
cast?
grande combinazione. Cellular cheese viciosi.
I'm hoping to earn the trust and respect of the tribe. The best way to do that is to supply a meal.
Trembling with the knees when you've got a good sized fish.
La Supreme Combinazione.
Back to stay in a second, back to stay in a second. No, we're not. The thing about
Stacoritas.
fish living in muddy water, you get them near the surface.
Cicleteira bicicleteira. Los
As
cicleteira.
soon as they're in the light, they detect the light, and they kick and they go.
Hotspot.
There it is, there it is.
Tortugini Dragon Frutini. Bisonte Giuppide.
was first cast. They'd have been out a couple of
La
minutes.
grande combinazione.
And for a fish of this size to take that in that short time is a real indication of what happens to these rivers.
La casa
Just
V.
low pressure subsistence fishing. This is very meaty, there's not very
Lo
much in the way of bones
strallalleritos.
here. Che va? Oh, Matisse come yes, no?
Chipso anch'esso.
Okay.
La
Interesting.
vacca Saturno
I don't really like
Saturnita.
any of these if they had to.
Capitano Moro.
This red-tailed catfish is a good catch,
Burrito bandito.
but it appears I'll need to try again if I'm to make a proper impression.
Burrito burrito.
Clicker on. Free
Zombie
store.
tralala.
That's something.
La Saur combinazione. La vacca Saturno Saturnita. Lo hot fossito. Cilincini. Cicleteira bicicleteira.
That's under a branch by the feel of it.
Yes, my examen.
No, there's a red tail, it's not a red tail.
Carter Saturno.
Gentle. Gentle, gentle.
Yes, 666.
The first time I came to the Amazon, I was
Extinct
several
traveler.
weeks fishing a river in a more populated area. I never saw anything the
Burrito
size of this.
bandito.
Nice size fish. Couple of
Headless
singular powder.
2 casts, 2 big fish. This is clearly a very special place where normal rules don't seem to apply.
Tacorita bicicletta. Nuclearo
I
dinosauro.
don't yet know whether I'm after a sight or scent hunting. A piece of smelly fish that's visually reminiscent of the body part might appeal to both.
Peggiuro Mussuro. Ciacchetti. Dragon Cannellone. Tic Tac Savour. Rang Ringbus. Los Mobilis. Zombie Tralala. Cicleteirina bicicleteirina.
That is extremely piranha looking. Apart from the
La
height,
Cis.
that's the sort of size
Los
you'd expect
Jobsidros.
black piranha.
Salmini Spiderina.
There are more than 60 species in the piranha family, and many change shape and colour as they grow, so they can be notoriously difficult to identify. But locally, this is called a palameta. It's a piranha that's adapted to life in colder water.
Los Combinati.
Interesting to unhook because normally with the piranha you grab the body of this is so large it's going to be quite hard for me to hold it with one hand.
Hot. Tralaledo.
Very impressive animal.
La Stralaleritas.
These teeth are surgically
Jackorilla.
sharp, and I think this could be the top suspect for what severed the diver's toes. But I don't think the jaws are big enough for the single cut across Herbaceo's genitals.
Perrito burrito.
Changeable weather.
Esoc seco.
Freezing this morning. Now I'm having to put this on.
Quesadilla crocodilo. La Cis. Hot
But at least the bright light should make my lure more visible to predators hunting the depths below.
Moni Pass. Telemon. Niedetera bicicletera.
Something very strong is struck and the battle commences.
You're hooking the fish at a long distance, and this fish has also run, so
Bisonte giù.
I've got line to make up. It's actually quite tiring work.
Los Trallaleritos.
Oh, let's go and take it.
Graitus medus.
Take it line down.
Headless
War of
horseman.
attrition. It's just
Los Spider Rings.
tired.
La secret combinazione.
That bend though means that the force of the rod, the backbone of the rod is working against the
La
fish. That's
cucaracha.
what you want to hear. It's also what you sort of don't want to hear. This is a big fish. This is a big fish.
Whatever's taken the lure definitely outsizes both boga and
Esoc seco.
palameta.
Just hoping everything holds.
Salmini
In
Spider.
theory, this is very tiring for a fish to have pressure from directly above. This fish is absolutely resisting, not in fact more than resisting, it's actually taking line.
Giacarilla. La Supreme
Back
combinazione.
is starting to ache.
Oregini boom.
Back starting to ache. Oh,
Telemorte.
it's not shaking. It's the tremors.
Cellulancini viciosini.
Oh,
Tralaledon.
this fish doesn't get tired.
Non mai esame.
It could be said for me.
Every time I gain some line, this beast kicks and takes it back again.
La Spooky grande.
Taking line slowly. Run. Every time you run like that, you're tiring yourself out.
Lucky block.
Then something shifts.
Extinct la grande.
This seems to be getting a little bit more agitated.
Burrito bandito.
There's not so much a sign of increasing
La Supreme
strength.
combinazione.
Getting near to the boat. Coming up in the water, coming up. So we must
L'attacco
do
combinazione.
there's bubbles coming up, there's bubbles coming up.
Chilling chili. Botito auratito.
This is a surabi, a powerful predatory
Extinct
catfish.
tralale.
This is
Yes,
the biggest one I've
666.
ever caught, so I want to take a really
Headless
close look
horseman.
at this 80-pound monster.
L'attacco combinazione.
This streamlined predator massively outsizes the palometa. It's got hundreds of tiny teeth that function like gripper pads to seize and hold fast onto crayfish, but they're not going to do any serious damage to human flesh.
La secret combinazione. Chilling chili. Tic tac sabor.
I suppose this answers my question.
La secret
I
combinazione.
brought in that armored catfish. I was wondering what
Quesadillo
down
vampiro.
there that makes all those defences necessary.
Extinct la grande.
Saw-like blades down the side of its flanks. And this is the answer.
Mietetera,
It's got a really big
bicicletera.
mouth. And these things will take
Nucleare
armored
di
catfish.
Passauro.
Although occasionally
La Spooky grande.
things line up badly.
Lo
They
Stacorita.
actually get one of those spikes inside their throat and they might
La
die.
Spooky grande.
But generally they aren't deterred. They
Lo
release
Strallaleritos.
as impressive as this fish is.
Garama and Maduro. La Carker Car combinazione. Garama
Early the
and
next morning, the boatman, Tullio, agrees to take me out into the remote Cayman-infested
Agarrini la
channels.
palina. Ketupat, Lo Spaghetti.
This vast wetland, almost twice the size of the Everglades, is known as the Steros de Iberá. I've travelled 500 miles on the hunt for the river tiger, and the waters I find here are not what I expected. The indigenous Indian name, Iberá, means bright water.
Bicicleteirina, bicicleteirina.
But unfortunately what that means is that anything living there is going to see me before I see it.
Bicicleteira, bicicleteira.
Tullio tells me the only way to outsmart the river tiger here is to fly fish,
Lucky block.
casting a fish-like streamer lure from a
Nietera,
distance on a
bicicletera.
virtually invisible leader.
Lo sbro.
I'm giving it light.
Lo spaghetti.
Tipping the line with my hand so it shoots forward and
Yes, my examine.
darts. So it's moving this movement.
Lucky block. Fragrama and chokra. Job, job, job,
I
sound.
just hope these waters,
Zombie
the
tralala.
forsaken heart of the marshes, are warm enough
Chizzo anch'esso.
for the river tiger to be hunting.
Lo spotzito. E le morte. Mariachi corazoni. Yes, my examine. Bucchini spiderini.
The right colour for what I'm after.
All I have to do now
Lo storto.
is get a close look at its teeth.
Lucky block. Ketupat, kepa. La sis. Headless horseman. Mariachi corazoni. Quesadillo vampiro.
I can see stripes. I can see stripes.
Tralaledon.
My guide Tullio confirms this is the river tiger, also known here as the piraju. But I know this fish as the golden dorado, a creature I've
Los
only seen a
new,
couple
my
of times before.
hotspotsitos. Tortughini dragon.
Bar of gold.
So gold, they named it twice. Dorado is also the Spanish word for golden, as in the fabled city.
Los trallaleritos.
This muscle beast is a vigorous fighter and isn't taken easily.
Yes,
Its
6-6.
stamina on the line is legendary. And beneath its glittering gill plates, the hefty jaw muscles
Extinct
are the
Mateo.
source of its phenomenal biting
La
power.
sì.
Right, I don't want to get too close, but that definitely has teeth.
Bicicleteira,
I'm
bicicleteira.
thinking particularly if you get near the angle of that
Dio
jaw, it's
vampiro.
probably a bit like a bolt cut.
Tacorita
The saw-like
bicicletta.
rows of teeth are partially concealed by flesh.
Treno struzzo turbo 4000.
When pressure's applied, they sink in deep.
Los Mateos.
I've heard Dorado can grow to around 70 pounds. I can scarcely imagine the damage a big one might inflict.
No, my candy.
But if I'm to prove that Dorado was responsible for Hevasia's genital mutilation, I
Yes,
have to find
6-6.
out.
I think what I really want
Catch your one
is to
must
catch
do.
the bigger one.
Los Jobcitos.
I want to get my line on the water at the place where the corpse was found.
Disco de Farinha or
Los Jobcitos.
But finding someone willing to take me there
Virulitoita
is proving
bicicleteira.
difficult.
none of this or
L'attacco
not?
combinazione.
Okay.
My
Mariachi
perseverance
Corazon.
eventually pays off. I
Yes,
find a
six,
man
six,
who
six.
agrees to take me into the kill zone.
Catch your one must do.
I'm going to fish in the margins,
Los Buggies.
where big predators often hunt for their
Los
prey.
Primos. Virulitoita bicicleteira.
We're moored at the
La cucaracha.
boat.
Los Primos.
The idea being that
La
if
secret
anything takes
combinazione.
that tries to get into the
Bisonte giungere.
it's very snaggy here on the margin.
La grande combinazione.
Get the boat out and pull anything away from the snags.
Extinct La Grande.
I still don't know what
La
I'm
vacca Draco
hunting,
l'Interino.
but I found that fresh bait is always a good bet for tempting killers onto my line.
6-7. Los Mobilis. Los New, my hotspotsitos. Los
Whatever
Tralaleritos.
this is, be capable of breaking
Los
bones
Chicleteira.
and killing a man.
Chicleteirina, bicicleteirina. Dragon Cannellone. Dragon Frutino.
It's a
Giacorilla.
red-tailed catfish.